There is something very strange about this winter storm. Something really seems off about this winter storm. And I know that I'm not the only one out there that finds all of this to be a little strange, a little odd, and a little eerie. Because honestly, with everything that they continue to do, with the way that they spray the skies above us, honestly, nothing would surprise me at this point with this being a man-made type event. Because what these people are doing is they are trying to play God. And this is why you go outside and you will see streaks in the sky. And multiple people have been reporting on this, where they have been seeing their skies being sprayed on a daily basis. I've even seen it near me. First thing in the morning, I will go outside and I will see lines going through the sky. I mean, it's really ridiculous at this point. Right here, as you see on screen, they are warning of potential blackouts, transportation chaos, and of course, bone-chilling cold. And the way that this storm has moved and is moving, something really seems bizarre about this storm. It really does. And how many different states it's going to affect at one time is very, very strange. There's a lot of strange coincidences with this storm. There's a lot of weird things that just don't make sense when you actually begin to do your research, when you actually begin to look at everything. Something really seems off. And if that's not off for you, they always have to throw in their number, the number 33 every single time. And as you see right here on the screen, look at this, 133 million under these winter weather alerts. I mean, come on. They are telling you without telling you what exactly is going on, because they can't help themselves. They really can't. And it's every single time, it seems like. It really is. And again, just when you begin to do your research, when you begin to look at everything, and shout out to this guy over on Facebook, Rob Anderson. He's a good dude. Go check him out. Go check out his content. He's always posting some interesting stuff. But he posted up that there was a blizzard that hit New York City in 1996. And then there was a blizzard that hit New York City in 2006. Then 2016. And now here we are in 2026. And yet again, something is about to hit NYC. A massive blizzard-like event is about to hit NYC. So you tell me what is really going on. That is too much of a coincidence that all of these years end with 6. 1996, 2006, 2016, and now 2026. But maybe that's all just one big coincidence. At the end of the day, there is something weird about this storm.
News governors in multiple states at this hour warning millions of Americans of a catastrophic winter storm just now starting to hit. At least 17 states declaring states of emergency already tonight. Heavy snow, dangerous ice, freezing rain, and then life-threatening, brutal cold moving in. More than 180 million people under alerts. The massive storm building in Texas and Oklahoma, stretching 2,000 miles across the south into the Carolinas and then up the coast into the Northeast. Washington, D.C., Philadelphia. In New York City, city officials tonight are preparing for up to a foot of snow. Authorities warning of dangerous driving even before the storm. Dashcam video showing a driver losing control, crashing on I-70 in Belmont County, Ohio. Philadelphia loading plows and sanders with salt tonight. The city declaring a snow emergency. Drivers urged to stay off the roads. It's going to be a dangerous mix of freezing rain, ice, and snow. Thousands of flights already canceled tonight. Right through tomorrow, they are expecting some airports to close down entirely for hours on Sunday. From New York to Texas tonight, a familiar scene playing out. Customers lining up at grocery stores. This image here in New York, stocking up on supplies tonight. Stores across the country now with bare shelves. Lee Goldberg standing by to time this out. The potential ice and snow totals depending on where you are, and we'll take you right through it. And ABC's Morgan Norwood leading us off tonight from Dallas, where the system is just getting started tonight.
Tonight, that powerful winter storm threatening more than half the country, set to slam millions with heavy snow and crippling ice. Authorities warning families to take this seriously, from New York all the way down to Texas. New York Governor Kathy Hochul tonight.
This is a very dangerous combination of heavy snow and extreme cold temperatures.
New York City bracing for what could be its biggest snowstorm in nearly 5 years, up to a foot possible. Epic lines at grocery stores. Parts of the South bracing for potentially catastrophic impacts, up to an inch of ice possible. Fears of more crashes like these in Belmont County, Ohio this week. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee sounding the alarm.
We all know that there is a very serious winter storm coming. Snow, sleet, ice, freezing rain. Very dangerous conditions.
In Texas, road crews out in force. And here in Dallas, brine trucks, sand, cones strategically placed under major overpasses so road crews can quickly respond as conditions worsen. Officials warning the ice could knock out power for days.
We're going to monitor all of the impacts to the electric grid.
Utility teams racing into the storm zone ahead of expected widespread power outages. And right after this storm, brutally cold temperatures sweeping in from the north across most of this country, expected to last for days. Our Alex Perez is in Chicago.
Here near Lake Michigan in Chicago, you can see the water is completely frozen over. The Midwest in a deep freeze. The feel-like temperature in some spots 30 to 40 below zero.
That brutal cold will soon spread across the country. And David, with this nearly 2,000-mile wide storm already developing, the rain is here in Dallas, and the big concern is temperatures plunge overnight. Everything, these roads will turn to ice.
And even like you've seen from that news clip, they are really hyping up this winter storm like never before. That's all I've been hearing about. And the name alone is very interesting. The fact that they are calling it Fern sounds almost like CERN. It really does. But there is just so many weird things surrounding this, and the fact that this storm is also involving a lot of ice. And I will get into that here in a few, what I mean by that with the ice stuff, because there has been a lot of symbolism surrounding ice recently. And I'm not just talking about the, ice officers. And again, I will get into that here in a second, and I will show you exactly what I'm talking about with that. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but again, this seems like more weather modification. I mean, they are already openly admitting to the fact that they have DEWs. And remember what happened in Maui? Yeah. So now that the government is now out in the open admitting to having DEWs, and never forget what happened to Maui, because that was definitely part of their DEW madness, their directed energy weapons. And it's just laughable how they are openly admitting to these quote unquote conspiracies. A couple of years ago, you talked about directed energy weapons, you would get viewed as a nut job. But now it's out in the open because they are so prideful and they are so arrogant. So what makes you think that they can't manipulate this gigantic winter storm? Because they do want to collapse the society as much as possible. And I would not be surprised in certain locations, even if the winter storm doesn't cause a blackout, I would not be shocked if the government doesn't flip a switch anyway, and they will just blame it on this winter storm. And that's not all with this winter storm, because now they are even warning of trees exploding. Yeah, You heard that right. Trees exploding. This video comes from Money Bates over on TikTok.
So now they're saying that this polar vortex is going to bring air so cold that trees can explode. The simulation is simulating right now. We have to be in a different reality. When have you ever heard them say it'll be so cold that trees can explode? Then they're saying we're going to have temperatures as low as 50 degrees below zero. They're saying that we're going to have ice as thick as an inch. Power and electricity can go out. More than likely, there will be no flights. More than likely, you won't be able to use transportation in certain areas. Are y'all hearing all of this? They're saying in some areas, they're going to get up to 20 inches of snow. Mind you, this is happening in almost every state of the United States. Over 100 million people will be affected. Excuse me, over 150 million people will be affected. Now, they're saying that all of this is a possibility. They're predicting this to happen. They're saying it's a chance it won't happen. They're also saying the chance that it will happen, and if it does happen, we are in trouble. Think about how many people live on the streets. I keep saying this shit is crazy, but they really just got me with that trees exploding shit. Something ain't right. I'm out.
And back to the ice symbolism after you just watched that video clip, you know, of the trees potentially exploding. I mean, come on. There is something up with this. I hearken back to when Pope Leo blessed a piece of ice just last year in 2025, close to the end of the year. He blessed a piece of ice. And that ties into all of this ice symbolism. Because why would he do something like this right here? Why? Why exactly? And then after that, we started seeing more and more ice symbolism ramping up. And that's not all. This person over on Facebook, their page is called Normal Isn't Coming Back, but Jesus Is. They posted up this very interesting connection with the storm. The winter storm is called Fern, which is the first part of Fernando, whatever, who just won the college football championship on 1/19, which is 9/11, 9/11. And Trump attended this game. And Trump replaced Greenland with Iceland, where he supposedly mistaked Greenland for Iceland at Davos. And the winter storm Fern is going to produce a lot of ice, as I talked about. And something else interesting is Trump had Vanilla Ice perform recently at Mar-a-Lago, so there's more ice symbolism. This seems like too much to be just a coincidence, in my honest opinion. And you can again read all of this on screen. This page is very good. They post a lot of different breakdowns. Go check them out. But something really honestly seems off about all of this. It really does. When you begin to look at everything, all of the different connections when it comes to ice, obviously the stuff of ice in Minnesota and everything else. And then again, all of the ice connections where the Pope has recently blessed a piece of ice last year. And then all of these different connections with ice. Something really seems off about all of this. And to make matters even more interesting, the channel that uploaded iPet Goat 2 recently uploaded a lot of mysterious videos, and some of them involve ice. So again, that iPet Goat 2 video was chock full of predictive programming, and then they decide to upload all of these mysterious clips, ice breaking and stuff like that. So again, all of this seems very, very bizarre because now we have this massive winter storm. And even right here, look at this. Thousands of Americans under stay inside advisories as air fills with lung penetrating toxins. Thousands of Americans are at risk of breathing in dangerous toxins on both the East and West Coast, with officials warning that local air quality could cause serious health effects. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, reported on Wednesday that air quality levels had reached unhealthy levels in portions of California and Oregon, including over the city of Los Angeles. The increased levels are due to little to no wind and high atmospheric pressure trapping pollution near ground level. So not only do we have this winter storm going on, not only do we have the government openly admitting to DEWs, we have this stuff with air quality warnings. And this next video you're about to watch is from Matt Randolph, who is a renowned energy expert. And he's involved with Forbes Energy. And he's also talking and warning about this winter storm.
I've been waiting to talk about the storm that's coming this weekend because I didn't want to freak people out. And a lot of these forecasts never pan out, but this one is panning out, it looks like. Yeah, everyone's in agreement now that the crazy forecast is actually happening. This is going to be one of those storms you probably remember for much of your life. Basically, more than the eastern half of the United States is going to be below freezing. Most of that below zero. They're calling for, foot and a half of snow all through here, all the way to the mid-Atlantic, and 3 inches of ice in this pink band right here. 3 inches of ice is unbelievably catastrophic. That is worse than what Texas experienced in 2021. There's going to be loss of life. Anywhere there's 3 inches of ice, there's no power. There's not going to be a power line that's not on the ground when there's 3 inches of ice. And emergency services aren't going to be able to reach you because there's 3 inches of ice on the road. That's what's going to happen if this forecast is correct. The grid's going to fail. Refineries are going to shut down. Water systems are going to shut down. Could knock out a couple of LNG terminals if it goes far enough south on the Gulf Coast. This is going to be a disaster if this forecast is even close to accurate. I mean, a major disaster. Huge natural disaster across pretty much all the southern states. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if you live in the pink area, you should plan to be without power for at least a week, maybe a month. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but you need to prepare for it because it wouldn't be the first time it happened, okay? This is that. People went without power for a month in Texas in 2021. This is a repeat of that. For you folks in the upper Midwest, where it's going to be like 30 below, take the largest electric bill you've ever had in your life and add, 25% to that or more. Yeah. But more importantly, just be prepared. Thanks.
So as you've seen from that clip, just more examples. This storm really does seem weird. And even right here, look at this. 18 states trigger emergency responses as heavy snow and crippling ice begin to spread across the United States. Washington, D.C. is also under a state of emergency. So again, something really seems off about all of this. It really does. And this next clip comes from Moon Henry over on TikTok. He posts a lot of great videos. You can also find him on Facebook and Instagram and other places like that. But check this clip out.
Even more very suspect things coming as this ice storm approaches. Is anyone else finding the timing of this storm and the energy being applied to it fighting for water and other food is just a little bit suspect? Stores all the way from Texas to South Carolina empty. Even more planes doing very weird things along the path of the storm, totally separate from the ones I showed you yesterday. We'll get to the other really weird stuff in 1 minute. Right here we have this guy up there who just recorded 7 inches of snow in 1 hour in New York. And right here is a storm of coincidences. We have ice protest. Meanwhile, the White House is posting him with a penguin, and read it. Literal days ago I showed you the Veritas thing talking about things happening in the sky above us. This is real. Preceding this event, we have governors asking for assistance before it even gets here.
This is not just a snowstorm. This is a precision-coded atmospheric assault, and your body already knows it. Why?
Absolutely love your energy. I mean, we have actual records breaking everywhere. We have a spot in Russia, -40, and no, Elsa has not been over there. But I did see she just got arrested for her shenanigans. It's already starting to snow in Texas, but this is not like one singular event. This is like a major ice storm, major snowstorm, and this Arctic blast all at the same time. I've showed you the beams along the radar, which was the exact path it was moving. Of course, state of emergencies everywhere, but check this part out. WNC. So let me get this straight. They got completely flooded, right? And then they caught on fire, and now they're about to lose power for who knows how long. 1000% unrelated, don't forget about all their reserves. And let's not even mention the fact that days leading up to this, I couldn't even see clearly into the sky. There was so much stuff up there. I hope you guys got ready or tried to get ready. This may be pretty severe. Just for attention.
And that's not all when it comes to the mysterious stuff. Right here on my Facebook, somebody reported that the snow looks like plastic. I don't know how recent this picture was with the snow, but I was just asking the question over on my Facebook about how this storm seems off, and they posted this in the comments about how the snow looks like plastic. So again, you tell me what is going on. And then even right here, MISO declared a level 2 emergency on the central US grid. So this really seems like a planned event, in my honest opinion. But maybe it's not. Again, maybe it's all just a coincidence. Maybe it's just the weather. Maybe that's all that it is. But you have people freaking out, going to stores, and the shelves are empty. I mean, come on, there is something weird going on. There really is. And I wanted to do a video about this. And if you are in a location that is going to deal with the crazy amount of ice, I'm praying for you. I know I'm in a location that's going to get slammed. We're supposed to get up to a foot of snow. Again, if it's even really real snow, who really knows anymore? I just know there's a lot of strange things going on. There's a lot of weird and eerie things happening. As always, this is your host, Truth Seeker, signing out.